Hello everybody, Frouwo here with game number 2 of this best of 5 series between EoT Gaming Hammer team and 5NQ. 5NQ up 1-0 at this point, coming back the last game with that Naga carry played by Anarchy, just 6-6 play coming at Anarchy as his teammates played a strong 1 protect 4 strat. It worked out very well for them, coming back, bouncing back in that game very well. Howard, new game, different heroes, and we're gonna start seeing some interesting picks, as you can see by looking at the draft so far. But running through the bands real quick first, we have Alk, Slark, Naga Siren, and Luna banned out by EoT. Not wanting to see that Naga Siren again at all. 5NQ, meantime, banning out the Venomancer, the Bristleback, the Shadow Shaman, as well as the OD, and EoT picking up the Lifestealer, Nyx Assassin, Clockwork, and Silencer. 5NQ, the Timbersaw, the Visage, the Undying, and the Marana. Timbersaw being the first pickup for 5NQ before EoT get their hands on it, as they really do not just want Chrissy to touch that hero at all. And of course, interesting picks will be the Undying. Undying, a very potent hero, especially in tri-lanes. Very good tri-lane hero, very good team fighting hero. The enemy team really cannot take a full-blown team fight if Undying is there before the, I'd say, even maybe 20-minute mark. Undying, just absurd amount of damage how much he can put with the Grave, with the Decay, and with the Soul Rip, and his ultimate, just super survival, like all kinds of great team fight and stuff. And it's just, oh, I love Undying, one of the best heroes in the game, in my opinion. But he's something that's really not seen in the current meta because he does fall off extremely hard in that late game. But anyway, enough drooling over the fact that Undying is picked in this game. EoT betting out Dragonite, 5NQ betting out the Bat Rider. Seems both teams still looking for that solo mid role. Marana going to be a carry likely played by Anarchy. And Sagan probably going to be on the Timbersaw. EoT looking for that mid hero now, I guess. Storm Spirit is the last hero for RY and EoT. So EoT now having their full draft, going to be a pretty aggressive team. Having Lifestealer Bomb with the Storm Spirit, of course, is one of the main combos, but they also have the Nyx and the Clockwork. So Lifestealer literally able to hop into anyone here, aside from the Silencer. Silencer just being the lonely man, will not be able to pair up with Lifestealer. Silencer, though, in general, decent hero. Oh, but QO picking up that Templar Assassin as the last pick, another high-impact hero, Storm. Templar Assassin will be quite the duel in the mid lane to see who comes out on top. But both teams certainly picking up heroes a little bit out of the norm as of late. And I did not hit the right button. So we will have EoT up here on the dire side this game. P Young will be playing that Silencer. RY, of course, on the Storm Spirit, that solo mid role. Chrissy going to play the off-lane Clockwork. I was going to say with Silencer maybe, but rather no. Chrissy going to handle that solo. Cast going to be on the Nyx this game. And Jumong going to be playing the Lifestealer. And 5NQ going to start heading towards that dire woods. Cynical going to be playing the Marana, so it's going to be more of a... No, that's a carry Marana. Cynical's the carry. Function to be playing the Undying, however. QO on the TA, Anarchy on the Visage, and Sagan on the Safe Lane Timbersaw. Safe Lane Solo Timbersaw, mind you. And might see a little bit of engagement here, but EoT going to spot it out and just start backing up. Interesting ward placement from 5NQ. Really want this try and work out. Two just really strong tri-lane heroes coming out for 5NQ. I really am interested to see how EoT is going to combat this. Silencer going to really have to carry the lane with his spells. So, yeah. It's how's this game for you so far? And I'm just gonna watch the Undying for a couple seconds. Take a sip of my water. And maybe just watch Cass struggle dewarding as his sentry is inches away from dewarding this ward. And trialing begins. Function getting that decay up early to spam with. Now, Sagan versus Chrissy here in this bottom lane is going to be a pain for Chrissy. Chrissy going to have to deal with this reactive armor through the entire time in this laning phase. Curse Solid coming out onto Cynical and Anarchy. Really no spells they can burn right now. Don't want to waste the cooldowns. And a double, single decay stolen from EoT there. And pause, called by Chrissy, please pause. And as our bottle comes mid lane, RY, seeing that courier, oh, what a kill would be if EoT managed to get the courier once again. And we have some chitter chatter coming out of the NSL casters. Bots. Words. Don't know what they mean. Just one in the game. Let's be super analytical of the last hit to this point. ROI had 3 last hits on QO. QO not having too much attack range at this point in the game, so ROI going to take that advantage. And Chrissy's mouse apparently busted up. Capitalist saying, thank you for informing all of us people who speak English. All those English Korean Dota fans. Few between the NSL casters even apologizing for the delay. This isn't even bad compared to many of the European tournaments. And some dewarding going to go down here for 5 and Q. Going to get rid of that sentry and contest the pull. Chrissy Sagan duking it out in the bottom lane now. Sagan really doesn't care having that reactive armor up, so. But yes, QO again having trouble doing with that mid lane right now, as he only has 1 point in the refraction, or not the refraction, rather the side blades, which eventually give him more and more attack range. So needs to hope he gets more levels and soon. Undying, however, rotating to get that top rune. Likely going to try and save it for Q as well as he can, and indeed does. Q pushing out the lane and going to nab that rune now. Cynical, Anarchy, doing what they can this lane. Silencer often trying to cast that Curse Silent as much as they can. Really struggling though, not doing any work yet, no kills, however, Jumong now slowed up. Leap from Cynical, arrow hits but pops, Jumong popping the rage and getting out of there. So Hamikyu certainly flexing the girth this lane, but really not getting anything for it yet. And really, Sagan just, I'd say, winning this lane now pretty decently. Not taking too much harass. Chrissy, not too behind on CS though, so not too big a deal yet. Cynical, cursed up once again. Young just popping these clarities constantly. And Function on the Undying, just chillaxing. They're going to pull a lane and force EoT to come over here if they want any of these creeps. Well, some of the creeps. And RY gonna make a bit of an attempt on Q. Was like, you're gonna make it out of there though. Taking a bit of tower damage as the refraction fades off. And RY gonna keep throwing the damage out onto QO. QO getting a little bit low there. Likely not gonna get there. Could spell the end if he tries to get the rune, as Pyong and Cass rotating into this mid lane now. Chrissy gonna get that bottom rune tower. And QO has to be really careful here. Already low on life, and with 2 EoT supports in the vicinity, not the safest place to be. Chrissy actually having a bottle, so that Invis rune proving to work out pretty well for him. He's still pretty aggressively placed in this mid lane and gonna get stunned up by Cast after the refraction pops. Let's see if this Curse Silence manages to kill him. It will not. Barely, actually. Barely, making about out on like 15 life or so. So EoT filling a gank there was a nice attempt, very close, but once again to no avail. Saga in the meantime, level 6 down the bottom lane. Chrissy level 5, so could see rotation out of Chrissy sometime in the near future. Let's try though. Really not working out to great success for 5&Q, but they're getting levels in farm really uncontested. EoT doesn't want to even touch this again. Sagan though, hooked up by Chrissy. Chrissy, battery salt. Sagan goes down there. Seems to be a bit of lag on the server end. Rocket getting last hit, however, onto Sagan. Sagan losing whatever advantage he had in that lane from the reactive armor. Well, it's just not very well played from Sagan at that point. Battery assault really not allowing him to get out of there with the timber chain. And blows being exchanged on the mid lane. RY hitting up QO saying, nah dude, you're gonna take more damage than me, because he's got that refraction. And Function gonna fall back to lane, or to base rather. Anarchy and Tentacle just gonna sit top for a bit, try and sap up some more experience. You get really no kills, no aggression on this top lane, aside from 5&Q trying to force back whatever heroes EoT send to the creep line. Again, QO exchanging blows with RY. RY getting to the point where it's more and more difficult for him to try and fight against this DA. Refraction becoming stronger and stronger as more levels are acquired. That sideblade's really not coming into play. And in the meantime, Jbong slowed up by Anarchy. Function dropping the tombstone. Hooking from Chrissy? No. Hook, I assume Mister probably hit a zombie. And another 70 seconds or so for that cooldown for Chrissy to come off of cooldown. Little damage popped by QO. Just gonna look to harass the tower a bit. RY pretty low at this point, and yep, just trying to play a little bit safely. Chrissy gonna rotate in, and immediately QO is gonna back off. Sagan in the meantime fighting out that bottom tower, killing that creep wave, and Chrissy gonna rotate down there and try and stop that. Fortification popped by EoT. And very, once again, slow, passive, even with the tri-lanes, very passive, you know, early game. Only 1 kill 8 minutes in, so not too exciting. Sagan, seeing the Storm Spirit teleport in, wants to get out of there. Cogs from Chrissy missing, and Timber Chain out of Sagan. This lag right now, oh geez, this is what happens when you're living in America and you gotta connect to the Korean servers. That's just, it's ping when you're on a live game. Delay is no fun. And Q in the meantime getting that mid tower. And Tombstone drop by Function here. EoT now looking for a dive on this tower. Really able to with the Undying Tombstone, with just that early sustain that Undying has. So Undying doing work. Finally strutting that stuff that I said he could do. Getting the kill on the Silencer in the top lane underneath the tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And tower gonna go down top for EoT. EoT losing 3 towers now. All their towers actually down at before the 10-minute mark. Not even any sort of pushing really came out of 5&Q. It's just I'd say kind of winning each of their lanes, aside from Sagan just getting that free farm bottom and killing all the creeps very quickly as Timbersaws do. 5&Q over now going to look towards the Dire Woods cast. Pyong in a bit of trouble. Sagan in here now. Whirling Blades, and the Nyx goes down. Death message pops out about a second later, but just nuked down by Sagan and QO, and EoT looking to be on the back foot now, and certainly going to be on the back foot for at least another 10 more minutes with this Undying and other high-picked heroes like Sagan. Just really, I'd say they don't have the items to get test right now, but it's too early in the game really for them to have the items in the first place. It's just a point of out drafting for the other game phase. Is certainly outdrafted. Cynical though, gone upon. Anarchy. Gonna be gone upon, however, but Tombstone dropped. EoT noticing and just gonna back out instantly. That Tombstone, too spooky, man. All the zombies are coming to the ground and shit too. And in the meantime, Sagan on the bottom lane, or in the back lines, not the bottom lane, gonna nuke down the next assassin. Timber Chain, Whirling Blades, and Function. Anarchy just gonna nuke down the Silencer once again. Chrissy cogsing in 3. Not what you want. They usually want 1 just to stun him up real well. Clockwork now falling. Life Sutter falling as well. ROI going to make it alive barely. So wait, 3 for 0 trade there. Undying doing work. 0-4 now. 0-4. It's probably better put. And this tower not going to be pushed down by 5&Q, rather just gonna relax a bit. And RY eating an arrow. EoT looking for a bit of kills. RY zipping quite a ways away, but really doesn't have too much minutes to do enough damage to kill off Cynical. Or does he? Ah, indeed he does. Cynical falling to the Storm Spirit. And 6-2 now is our kill score. 5&Q in the lead by 4 kills. But it seems 5&Q, EoT just gonna lay off for a bit, so it'd be a good time to try to check item stats, all that kind of stuff. Chris Yarber almost having hookup, maybe debating hooking onto QO, does not though. But again, gold, 5&Q ahead nearly 10,000 with the 3 towers down. Experience nearly 4,000 in their favor. It looks to be turning back towards EoT's favor though, after that Mirana kill maybe. Could have changed it. Q in the meantime just gonna make a solo attempt on Roshan, it seems. Visage Birds, however, rotating in, gonna help out a bit. Q definitely not gonna have enough to really do this solo, regardless of stuns and such. So EoT may look to rotate in and just get a free kill on QO here. But 5&Q slowly rotating over towards the pit, I think, or not. The armor reduction is too strong on Roshan. Kyo getting that Aegis on about 200 health. Very, very well executed by them. It certainly got pretty low, but I guess they certainly practiced the strat and knew when they could do it and how they could do it. But gold now trending, and experience trending very much in the way of 5&Q, pushing ahead even further. And I'm gonna take a look at items and such, but Mirana 1100 off that Lincoln's. Anarchy has Medallion up. Function working towards the mechanism, I assume, has Sork Boots already. QO sitting the Shadow Blade as well as Treads, having that Aegis up as well. Sagan has the entire soul booster finished. Just another 600 gold from the Bloodstone at this point, beating the Perseverance in its entirety. And RY infested up with the Life Stealer inside him. Can't really check what... Actually, I could. But Sagan may be in a bit of trouble here. RY looking for Sagan. Jumong popping out. Sagan in a bit of trouble now. However, RY not having enough mana to actually suck him back in. RY in a bit of trouble though. Timber Change goes down. So gank turn around. 2v1 turning into a kill onto the Storm. Chrissy cogsing up onto Sagan after that beautiful hook in. Chrissy slaying the Sagan now, and EoT gonna back off after that 1-for-1 trade, and Timbersaw just gonna be a little bit more off of that Bloodstone now, about how much he was before he killed the Storm. So 5&Q gonna push this bottom tower, however, likely get the deny or get the kill on it, as unless Nyx wants to die, as he does not have Vendetta, is not able to do anything. So, but Nyx actually only level 5 at this point in the game. So that's pretty underleveled, I'd say. Really no farm on him. Pyong, no farm on him either. Storm Spirit zipping around, not catching out the TA really, so. Storm, really no farm either, just Null Talisman as well as boots. Anything on the courier? No, nothing on the courier. Just no farm on really any of these EoT heroes. No mid game items up at all. 5&Q now going to try and push down this mid lane. And likely do so uncontested. EoT really just scattered around the map at this point. Chrissy has hookup, so if she really wants to, can hook right in. Arrow flying out from Rana, barely missing on cast there. Just a little bit short on the range. But items coming out for 5&Q as well as the Lifestealer. Lifestealer picking up the drums. Timbersaw getting the Bloodstone, and what was that last item? Oh, I do believe it was a Mask of Madness coming out onto the TA in this game. Very, I'd say questionable item choice. It's probably the best word for it. Certainly going to provide lifesteal in the attack speed, but that damage amp, I don't know. It's certainly a fine item. It's nice to see, I guess, in a competitive game. Although a Korean competitive game, one of the most entertaining things currently. And 5&Q going to try and take this last outer tower now, as EoT really cannot, again, fight into it with no items up, with really nothing to their name currently. And now 6 towers down for EoT, and 5&Q ahead 6-0 in that tower game. Gonna go straight for the tier 3 top now. EoT maybe gonna have to respond here if they wanna stay in this game. 70 minutes in, friends, and 5&Q pushing that top lane at Rax. QO, oh, infest into RY. Chrissy hooking in onto the Visage. Visage seems to be going down first here. Anarchy going down indeed. Chrissy hasting out QO with the Aegis, but Carapace up. RY hopping in. Jumong infesting out, doing a bunch of damage to the enemy team. Chrissy coming back in, cogsing up. Templar Assassin and a bird. So Clockwork, Lifestealer now down. Cass seems to be going down next. Up. Cass indeed going down, followed by RY. RY nuked down by the dying, and Chrissy just going to be blown up a second time. QO going to pop that Aegis. And the top tower going to go down for EoT, and EoT just going to call it there. 18 minutes in, 5&Q taking the game with the Undying pick. Oh boy, with the Visage, with just that amazing shrine that EoT couldn't even fight into. So very well played from 5&Q, even with the early deaths on the Timbersaw. 13-4 is your final score as far as kills go, and 5&Q 2-0 now in this best of 5 series. One more game and they will be advancing to that coveted winners finals, one game away from the grand finals, that massive money prize. But yes, thank you for tuning in. My name is Frouwo. If you enjoyed the cast, it's great. Share it. Do those great things that people who love things do. Spread it to everyone. Spread the word. And if you did not like it, I appreciate constructive criticism. Contact me on Twitter, on YouTube, on the Twitch TV, and tell me what I can change about my casting. But yes, again, thank you for watching. My name is Frouwo, and have a nice day. I'll see you in Game 3.